Once the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, and his companions were building a trench around the city of Medina in preparation for people that wanted to attack the city and attack the Muslims. So they were building a trench around the city of Medina, and all the companions are hard at work, because digging such a big trench around the whole city is not an easy task. So they were working very, very hard in preparing for the worst, and they were very tired and very hungry. So much so that the companions, what they would do is, due to hunger and their stomachs being empty, they used to tie one rock around their stomach to push it down, to push kind of into their gut, so that they wouldn't feel as hungry, they wouldn't feel that emptiness in their stomach as much, subhanAllah. And one of the companions, he went up to the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, and he said, I'm so hungry. And the Prophet basically showed him his own stomach, and he showed him that he had 2 rocks tied to his stomach, to show him that I'm also extremely, extremely hungry as well. So there was one companion of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, his name was Jabir. And Jabir, when he saw the Prophet ﷺ, he noticed how hungry he was and how tired he was. And he couldn't take that the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, was going through such difficulty. So what he did is he went to his wife, to his home, and he told his wife that, do we have any food that we can give, that we can host the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, with? We want to invite him and let him have a meal with us because he's very hungry. So his wife said that we have very little food. We have just a little bit of wheat with which I can make some bread, and we have a very small baby lamb that we can slaughter, and we can cook some lamb for the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. So, but she told her husband Jabir, she said to him, please don't embarrass me. Only invite the Prophet, because this food is barely enough for even a couple of people, and I don't want to be embarrassed. Like, if more people come than I can serve, that would be a pretty bad situation. So Jabir, he goes back to the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, and all the companions are around him. There were about 1,000 companions. And he goes to the Prophet and he whispers very quietly in his ear, and he says, "O Messenger, we would like to invite you to our home so that you can eat some food, some lamb and some bread." And so the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, when he hears Jabir tell him this, he makes an announcement to all of the companions, and he says, "Ya Ahl al-Khandaq," he says, "O people of the trench, Jabir is inviting us to his place for a meal. Let's go." So now Jabir is freaking out. He's like, oh my God, basically what my wife told me not to happen, make sure not to happen, that's basically happening. And so he's kind of flustered because he wasn't expecting this. And so he tells the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, "Let me go ahead and make some preparations for everyone who's coming." 1,000 companions, imagine. So the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, he understands what's going on, and he understands the situation. So he tells Jabir, he gives him special instructions. He says that, tell your wife to not bake the bread yet, like make the dough, but don't bake it yet. And he says that the dish of lamb, cook it in a high place, in a high spot. So Jabir, he gets home to his wife, and he's like, by the way, there's like 1,000 people coming over. And so she kind of gets upset with him, and she's like, I told you not to, I told you to just invite him privately. And he said, I didn't do this. The messenger of Allah, peace and blessings be upon him, he invited everybody, he made an announcement. So she said that, Allahu wa rasuluhu a'lam. Okay, if the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said it and he did it, then he knows best and Allah knows best, and we'll be okay. And he gives her the special instructions. And so the companions get there, and the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, he's leading them, and he comes to the food, and he basically makes a dua, and he basically kind of blows on the food, and then so that they bake the bread. And he says that when you're cooking the meat and you're serving the meat, have it sit on a high place. So whoever's serving it, don't actually look in it, but have it high enough where you can't see inside of it, and just kind of serve from there. So then 10 companions at a time, a few of them at a time, come in the home, and they eat the bread and the lamb, and until all of the companions, all 1,000 of them, come in and they eat to their fill. And Jabir and his wife, of course, were so shocked and surprised. And he says, I swear by Allah that the pot the dish in which the meat, the lamb, was cooked was still simmering even after everyone had eaten all the food and the bread was still baking. SubhanAllah. So this was one of the miracles of the Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him.